Good evening, guys. Public administration means government administration. Government how government administer or administration is carried out. Then Wilson vision of public administration. How is discipline was evolved. First, the public administration was only doing law and administration. Then public administration shifted to welfare measures, development programs, and new public administration means not only doing law and order but also carrying out various welfare measures. Public choice approach means what public demand, what public choice is saying, see to it. Challenge of liberalization, privatization, and globalization. License Raj has been removed. Privatization has been carried out. Then there are many challenges of privatization, whether privatization is a motive, profit motive, or welfare motive. Globalization means the domestic economy is integrated with the world economy, and whatever happens at the global level has an impact on the local economy. For example, recently tariff rates hike by US President has tremendous impact on the domestic economy, on the various economies of the world. Governance means administration, implementation of the various decision of the government. New public management involves customer participation in taking out various decisions. It means customers' feedback, analyzing the feedback of the citizen, social audit are the examples of new public administration. Public administration is the management, the administration of the decision making taken by the government. Wilson's vision of public administration focused on governance, focused on citizens' participation. So therefore, how this administration, हो गया? Then administrative thoughts have come like scientific management given by F.W. Taylor, then classical theory given by Henry Fayol, and then bureaucratic model given by Weber. Then we have dynamic administration by Mary Parker, then human relation thought given by Alton Mayo and others, then functions of executive given by C.I. Bernard, then Simon's decision making theory, then participative management by Likert, Argyris, and McGregor. Argyris and McGregor. So, administrative thoughts have built up theory for the public administration. Like Weber has focused on hierarchy, has given about rules and regulations for the administration, and Hilton Mayo focused on the behavioral aspects of the system. Then scientific management talks about motion study, time motion study, work study of the task of the work focused on efficiency. Previous thinkers they mostly focused on efficiency, but modern thinkers focused on human relation model, focused on participation management, focused on functions of the executive, human relation model, like dynamic administration by Mary Parker, like discussed about benevolent administration, participative administration, autocratic administration, some mode of participation, and participative management like theory X and theory Y given by McGregor. Okay, though all they are focused on participation of the employees, participation of the public. So different school of thoughts have different postulations, different thoughts. They have, but they are some all have some sort of criticisms, some negatives, and some positives. So the integration of various scientific thoughts complete the public administration. Now, administrative behavior. Administrative behavior is how decisions are being taken in administration, how communication, how communication are getting impacted in administration, and how to boost the morale of the employee, motivational theories that can be applied for the increasing the motivation like Maslow's need hierarchy theory, then Herzberg's two-factor theory, then content theories of motivation. What are the various types of decision making? What are various types of decision making? How problem is identified? How alternatives are identified? How evaluation is done? How implementation of alternative is done? And how the feedback is generated from the employee as well as from the public. So the district administrator has to know about the administrative behavior, the various techniques of decision making, the various motivational theories, the various communication methods like formal, whether to have formal discussion with the people or informal discussion with the citizens or with the employee, keeping in view merits and demerits of both formal and informal communication. Organization. Organization study has to be taken care of, like there are system theory of organization, system theory and contingency theory. Means organization is a open system. It has input, it has people and process inside the system, and it has interaction with the outside system. So there is interconnection between the organization internally as well as the external environment of the system. So contingency means there is applied in those cases where system theory is not applicable. Means keeping in view the dynamism of the environment, organization has to be contingent upon the environment. Then various structures and forms. There are corporations, there are companies, there are public sector undertakings. After independence, government 5-year plan and started public sector undertakings because to gain advantage in the critical in the core areas like defense, like telecommunication sector, like energy sector. Okay, so government started investment in public sector undertakings, set up new public sector undertakings, but efficiency was very low. Then there are other firms like corporations like LIC Corporation of India, in which government is the owner. Then there are advisory bodies like National Green Tribunal, like no National Green Tribunal, regulatory bodies like Finance, RBI. Then regulatory bodies are National Green Tribunal that regulates the system, environment, financial stock market, and regulate the financial market. Election Commission conduct free and fair election. RBI regulates the banking system for run the bank, for control the inflation. Finance Ministry control the physical policy. So there are various advisory bodies, there are various regulatory bodies, there are very ad hoc bodies like advisory bodies like Niti Aayog is an advisory body, think tank. There are headquarters that do the job of policy making. Then there are field relationships that are implementing the policies. Then regulatory authorities. There are various regulatory authorities, whereas public-private partnerships like in smart city missions, national highway projects, like a power sector. Public-private partnership is the need of the hour because it will lessen the burden of the government. It enables the government to focus on core areas. It also private players to carry out business, to bring more employment, to bring more productivity. These are various public-private partnerships. There are various regulatory bodies. Then there are accountability and control. No accountability and let us discuss about accountability and control. No accountability and control. There is a lot of types accountability, and there is a for accountability and control. There are legislative, then there is executive, and there is judicial control. Executive exercise control on the bureaucrat, and legislative exercise control of the executive control of the body, and judicial control is done by judicial activism, judicial review, and by PIL, by restoring, by providing protection to the fundamental rights of the citizens. So there is a control. Then accountability means they are answerable. Judicial executive are answerable to the legislative. Okay, then lower courts, higher courts are answerable to the Supreme Court of India. Then there are control mechanism by the various interest groups, by various NGOs, by various voluntary organizations, civil society, voluntary organization, interest groups, media, charter, citizens charter, right to information, social audit. They act as a control mechanism because interest groups lobby with the government, like farmers association lobby with the government and repeal the farmers law. Also, social audit are being done in Mandarega to involve the citizen participation. Citizen charter gives the timeline of the various service. For example, Delhi Jal Board Citizen Charter depicts the timeline of the various service, the deadlines for the various service, the right to information, enables to have citizens to have information about the government schemes, the government work, the government structure, or any information of the government they want to have through right information. Then there are administrative laws, like there are administrative laws are for the implementation, for the progress, for the implementation of progress and initiation identification of the various decision. So there are various types of diocese views on administrative laws. Then there are delegated legislation. For example, legislation give powers to the executives and they frame the laws because it burdens the but it increases the arbitrariness of the executive. है and moreover sometimes there is a there is a executive sometimes exits sometimes they cross their jurisdiction, and it has both advantages and disadvantages. It brings out but it brings out you can say flexibility in the policy making. It it is a less time consuming. It but due to red tapeism, due to accountability issues, it has some drawbacks also. So there are dicey views on administrative laws. There are various administrative tribunals, like there are income tax tribunals to discuss the issue of tax. There are so there are central administrative tribunal that looks into implies grievances. Okay, so there are national green tribunal, there are income tax tribunal. So they all address to grievances in their respective sectors. Then this varies administrative tribunals. Now there are administrative laws. I mean, then comes comparative public administration, means we do comparison with America, China, England. America is presidential form of government. Britain and India is parliamentary form of government. India, Britain, bureaucracy and executive are separated. In India, bureaucracy and executive are separated, but executive have to report to bureaucracy had to report to the political leader. Okay, but America, there is a complete they are integrated. They are bureaucracy and executive are not are totally integrated. As and when the government change, the bureaucracy of the US system also change. Okay, then comes China. China has a state led political system, and one party rules the political system. India has multi-party parliamentary system of government. There are three organs: executive, legislature, and judicial organ. Three organs of the government. And there are certain challenges of comparative political administration because due to technological adoption in the political system, now it has to the various administrations of the countries have to analyze from a new way. Also, though there are bureaucratic inertia due to which new technologies is not easily cannot be easily implemented in administration. Moreover, there is a red tapeism, and there is a delayed decision making that is also creating hindrances for the modification of the administrative system. Taurixian model, and there are India has a prismatic model. There is India's bureaucracy is a transition phase. It is industria. There is industria. I also talked about industria, agraria model means that there is a it depends upon the level of technology adoption in the industry and agrarian economy. India is in the transition phase from the industrial economy to the agri economy to the industry economy, and it is very it is difficult due to certain factors to apply the administration of developed countries of other countries. Then there are various historical factors. There are sociological factors like caste system that impact in the administrative system. That India was colony of Britain, so there is a legacy of British administration in the Indian administration. Then comes development dynamics. Then what is concept of development? Development includes political development, economic development, socio-cultural development. Then comes there is a changing profile of development administration. Anti-development theses come to play, and development brings out inequality. It is set by anti-development thesis. Then how bureaucracy is carrying out a development activity, because Manrega is a bureaucratic scheme, and it is responsible for the development of the rural sector. No strong state versus market debate. So strong state means strong state. Whenever there is a strong state, then there is a welfare motive is more in strong state. Whereas in market-led economy, there is a more orientation towards the profit. So a proper balance between the profit may and the welfare measure is the need of the hour. And impact of liberalization on administration in developing countries. Yes, post 1991, due to liberalization, there is a participation of economic, political, private players in the public sector undertakings, in the business administration, in the various implementation of the schemes like smart city missions, like urban Indira Awas Yojana, then National Rural Livelihood Mission, then road, then Indian Railways, then bullet train project, the National Highway Road Project, Smart City Mission. All these are being carried out by public-private partnership. So it has been possible. The economy is growing. The development is also growing due to such liberalization efforts after post 1991 reforms. Then comes women and development of the self-help group. Women that they are provided micro credit by the NABARD, by the banks to earn their livelihood, to set up unit, to have to move ahead in the society. Then comes public administration. Then importance of human resource development. What is personal administration means? Recruitment is done, either merit based recruitment system is adopted. Then there are direct recruitment for the administrators. Then there are lateral entry for the administrators. Then they are players from there are managers from the private sector that are hired through the lateral entry schemes. So there are training is being provided at different academies in Mussoorie and in Hyderabad for the police and administrators at Mussoorie. So there is a career advancement is there. There is a position classification is there, and based on it the task, the service conditions, the salary pay perks are decided, and discipline. issue. Discipline has to be there. That there are performance appraisal system like annual confidential report to have control of thing to have a control on the. Then there is a promotion pay and service condition and employer relation to lobby with the employer. Then there is grievance redressal mechanism like CAT. Then code of conduct, ethical code of conduct. Bureaucrat has to be very, administrator has to be neutral, has to be proactive in its approach, has to be transparent, he has to be ethically correct. Then there are administrative ethics. What about administrative ethics? Let us discuss about administrative ethics. Means we have to transparent, corruption, no to corruption, and transparency in their activities, and efficiency and effectiveness has to be there by the administrators. So public administrations include training and development, then career advancement, then promotion, then discipline, then the pay and service condition, then the grievance redressal mechanism is also there, and ethical bone. Okay, public policy means the application, the implementation of the various decisions making. Then comes how the idea of a policy is conceptualized, and how planning is done, how implementation of the policy is done, how monitoring is done, evaluation and review and the reputation, state theories and public policy formulation. So public policy means means there are various stages of public policy. Means conceptualization, then evaluation of various alternatives, then pros and cons studying is also done, and then policy is implemented by the executives. Policies is made by the legislator, and it is the customer feedback is also becomes part of policy formation, and judiciary have a check on the policy whether it is not violating the fundamental rights, or where it is not violating the provisions of the constitution. And then comes the techniques of administrative management. These techniques are adopted in the private sector, like MIS, management information system, that is criminal data analysis, which it is a database containing information about the rate of crimes, the criminals, and analyzing those bias. Police are able to maintain law and order. Per program evaluation and review technique are adopted in various projects. It is done to study the work measurement. Then project evaluation is also done, and review is also done through these. And then it comes CPM, critical path method. It means the longest path of the critical path method is selected, and it is called a critical path method. And there are organizations and methods. Then work study and work management. Then e-governance. Government is focusing on e-governance, like Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, Trinity, जैम ट्रिनिटी भी हम इसको बोलते हैं. Then comes digital India mission also becomes a part of organizations and methods. So there are various techniques of improvement, or techniques of administrative improvements, like work study, the work measurement, e-governance, and information technology. Then there are various management tools that are used in the business administration, like PERT, like CPM, like network analysis, that are also adopted in the administration to improve administrative improvement. Then comes financial administration. Financial administration means includes RBI and Ministry of Finance plays a very important role. Ministry of the physical policy is taken care of by Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance forms budget, like financial statement of expenditure and income, the various sources of income and expenditure, and it also formulates direct and indirect taxes through which it tries to control the money flow in the economic system. And a Reserve Bank of India, it is the regulatory authority, controls the banking system and controls the monetary policy. And monetary policy revision is also done to regulate the like repo rate, reverse repo rate, open market operation, statutory liquidity ratio, cash reserve ratio, CRR and SLR, to regulate the cash flow, to regulate the money flow in the economic system. And both these measures of physical policy and monetary policy are done to control the inflation in the market, to increase or decrease the level of demand in the market. So there are different types of debt. There are different budget types. There are different forms. There is a budgetary process. There is a financial accountability has to be ensured. There are financial accounts and audit has to be done by CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India audits the Public Accounts Committee, accounts of then then various accounts of the government, of the union government as well as the state government, and brings out any irregularities and present it before report of the CAG is present before the parliament, and debate and discussions are done in the parliament. Moreover, the budget is formulated by the finance ministry and it is presented before the parliament, and various committees are there: public accounts committee, estimates committee. They evaluate the expenditure, the revenue, the source of taxes, and it is debated. Budget is debated in the parliament, and after that, budget and grants are given to the different states. Okay, and approval is given by the parliament to the budget. Then comes we will discuss about Indian administration. We have so far we have discussed the general view of the public administration. The public administration was once part of political science, but Woodrow Wilson wrote essay, and after that, public administration became a different discipline from the political science. And various schools of thoughts had emerged, which focuses on efficiency, human relation model, functions of executive, dynamic administration, participative administration. Then comes a role of financial management, then public policy, then administrative organizational system, then organizational, then administrative behavior, organization, then administrative and control, then administrative law, comparative administrative, public administration, then personal administration, public policy, techniques of human administration. Okay, guys. Then Indian administration has a legacy of a Kautilya administration, book of Shastra written by Kautilya. As you know that Kautilya administration was run by Mantri Parishad. So it has influence, still it has influence in Indian administration. Then there is a legacy of British Mughal Empire, the role of district magistrate. The district magistrate has some connection with the Mughal administration. Mughals, they have divided the country. They have centralized administration, and divide the country into different subas. And head of the subas was the subedar. So again, then India became the colony of British administrator. The British also carried out. British also carried out Indian British also British also carried out Indian British also carried out Indian administration for to colonize India, and they make certain policies to run the administration of Indian affairs, and whatever things they have started during colonization, it is still in some features are still existent during the present times. So this is how the Indian administration has evolved from colonial administration, Mughal administration, and then British administration. Then how decentralized administration has been diluted, and shift is on decentralized administration like the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments acts. Then comes philosophical and constitutional framework of government. So, what is philosophical means Indian government is based on values, has some value system, and then we have the constitutions. The government is run by the constitutions, keeping in view. Then we have various silent features, that's cooperative federalism, where there is values. We have political culture and bureaucracy and democracy, bureaucracy and development. So bureaucracy and development, yes, carrying out various roles like crisis management, like welfare measures, like law and order in the state. Bureaucracy has developed the country into on a large scale. Then comes political culture. Then political, then comes various salient features and value premises, constitutionalism, and various various values, the various salient features. Then there are constitutionalism, then political culture is also there, bureaucracy and democracy, bureaucracy and development. So, constitution, we have three. We have legislature, executive, and judiciary. We have Supreme Court as the supreme, as the tax body. We have higher courts and the lower courts. We have upper house, lower house. We have central secretariat. We have cabinet secretariat. We have cabinet ministers. We have a cabinet secretariat, cabinet secretary. Then comes public sector undertakings. Then we comes public sector undertakings in modern. There are various forms of public under sector undertakings that are under the government control, and there are problems. There are problem of datapism. There is a problem of corruption. There is a problem of losses. They are into losses. The government has done disinvestment with respect to all these public sector undertakings. There is a problem of accountability. There is a lack of accountability and control mechanism in the public sector undertakings, and due to impact of the liberalization and the privatization, government is carrying out disinvestment. Government is selling the stakes of the public sector undertakings, and private players are buying the stakes of the public sector undertakings, and all this is all being done to convert the loss making units into profit making units, and the focus and to divert the focus of the government on the core areas, and also to bring out efficiency, and to bring out management system in the administration of the public sector undertakings, and union government and administration. No, union government and administration. Union, we have a parliament, we have lower house, we have upper house, we have a speaker, we have so many laws. It is a form, we have to present in the form of bill. Bill has to be discussed. It has to be passed in the Lok Sabha as well as in the Rajya Sabha. And after the bill is passed, it becomes a law. Then judiciary also review the law whether it is not violating the constitution. Then there is a problem of autonomy. There is a problem of accountability. Then we have a central secretariat. There are ministers. There are different sectors that are for different ministers. There are different various boards railway board. There are various commissions like finance commission, election commission of India, how to distribute the taxes between the union and the state, and attached officers and the field organizations, all the implementing agencies of the policies, and there are various recent trends in intergovernmental relation. There is a work process. There is a coordination between the union government and the administration. Coordination between there is a executive wing, there is a parliamentary wing, there is a judicial structure, functions, work process, intra-governmental regulations, cabinet secretariat. Okay, then plans and priorities. What is the role of a planning commission? Now it is in 2014 it has been replaced by Niti Aayog. National Development Council was doing the formation of a planning commission, but now it is doing intra state coordination. So there are but there is focus is not on indicative planning. No, there is a planning formulation process at the union level as well as at the state. So there are constitutional amendments 1992, and there has been focus on decentralized planning due to Constitutional Amendments Act 73rd and 74 Constitutional Amendment Acts. There has been decentralized planning for economic development, for development programs, and for social justice and for welfare measures. Okay, so these are the priorities. So what were the plans? 5-year plans. So there, in every plan, there was the priority was a different. Priority was on one plan. Priority was on economic employment generation. In another plan, the was on removing poverty. In another plan. रुद्राक्षी ऊपर गया है चलो So there is a plan formulation at the union level, and the state plans are being formulated and are being implemented, keeping in view the Niti Aayog recommendation. Niti Aayog is action. First, the 5-year plans was there. It was basically the it was hierarchy and it was a very rigid one. But no, Niti Aayog has always suggest a 3-year action strategy for the government and as well as for the state. And set various aspirational district program is carried out by Niti Aayog. There are various Pradhan Mantri Indira Awas Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Urban Mission, National Rural Livelihood Mission, then Pradhan Mantri Antyodaya Yojana, and then Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, then Jan Dhan Yojana, then various PM Vishwakarma scheme, then other Ayushman scheme. So it is being aspirational district program is being monitored by the Niti Aayog. No, then comes state government and administration. Union state also constitutes legislative wing, then executive wing, and judiciary wing. And financial roles of the finance commission distributes the taxes between the union and the state. Governor is the is the nominal head of the state, whereas chief minister is the real executive authority. There are often clashes between the chief minister and the governor. There are council of ministers that are the executive agency. They are answerable to the legislatures. The chief secretary is the head of the secretariat, and the state the are different departmental secretaries, there are state secretariat, and there are directorates. These directorates are for us are sector specific, and they implement they are implementing agencies. They are the implementing agencies at the at the they are implementing agency at the sector specific level. So then comes district administration. There is a role of district administration. District administration. There is a changing role of administrator from law and order to development measures. Then there are various. There are confirm नहीं कर पा रहे ऐसी फंटी बजनी है. Then there are crisis management roles. There are regulatory roles that are being performed by the district administration. They also work with the urban rural development, urban local bodies, then rural local self government. They are do planning at the district level. They do implementation at the state district level. They work with the district police to maintain law and order. They carry out crisis management. They carry out disaster management activities. So there has to be civil service, has to be neutral. There has to civil service has to be activism. Then there are various code of conduct for the discipline. There are good governance initiative. Then there is a civil services. We have there are constitutionally given powers to the UPSC and the state service commission that do recruitment at the for the central jobs and for the state jobs. There are all India services. There are central services that are under the central government. All India services are under the central government as well as under the state government. So this so this you can say there is a code of conduct for the staff. There are various associations. They work in close collaboration with with a political head, political leader of the state, and the good governance initiatives has to be adopted when it comes to running the administration of union or the state, or as well as a district administration. So civil services, there are union public service commission, there are state public service commissions. There are carrying out provided training, development at the institutions. Police work with district administration to maintain law and order in the district level. So there are and then comes financial management. So budget is a instrument, is a political instrument. So there is a controller and auditor general of India. There is a role of controller general of accounts. There are accounting various accounting techniques that accrual based accountings or zero based. There are various types of budgeting: zero based budgeting, indicative budgeting. Then there are so this zero based budgeting. And so there is a role of finance ministry in monetary policy as well as in the physical area. So this is called financial management. There are various accounting techniques. There are various role. There is a role of auditor and general of accounts and comptroller and auditor general of India. So budget is a political instrument. There is a parliamentary control of public expenditure. So public expenditure has to be taken care of by parliament. Okay. So what about administrative reforms? Where is the independence board? But there are various administrative reforms since the independence. Various committees like Sanganathan Committee proposed the formation of Central Vigilance Organization. Then first administrative reforms, then second administrative reforms. They focus on governance, focus on e-governance, focus on separation of police from the political affairs, talks about separation of legislative, executive, and judiciary being there. lay stress on governance, they lay stress on transparency, lay stress on corruption free administration. So these various reforms and administrations, they have given certain recommendations, like first academic administrative reforms and second administrative reforms, then human resource development. Then human resource development are carried out by training development activities like mission Karam Yogi program is for the development of the training of the civil services, and there is a problems of implementation due to red tapeism, due to corruption, due to bureaucratic inertia in it. Then comes rural development. Rural development, there are various agencies like Ministry of Rural Development. There are Department of Rural Development. Rural development programs are there. There is 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, provides a three-tier system of government panchayati raj system. Then there is urban local government. There are municipal government. There are various features of the municipal governance. There are various source of finances. There are various problem areas of urban local bodies and the rural development and the urban level development. So rural development provided constituted by 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act and 74 Amendment Act carried out urban local government. So there is a global local debate. There is a new localism development dynamics, then police and administration with special reference to cities and administration. So there are three-tier system, panchayats, nagar panchayats and panchayat samiti. Then municipal corporation, municipal councils and municipal committees in the urban areas, and panchayats, nagar panchayats and panchayat samitis, role of the Gram Sabha. They have been given financial powers. They have been given powers to collect taxes like road tax, like public utility tax, sanitation charges. They can carry out various developments at the rural level, like building roads, building shops, building stadiums, building schools, and also same they have been given the powers of appointments in the municipal bodies, running schools, appointment of teachers, running carrying out sanitation, public hygienic activities. And then there is a law and order administration. There is a British legacy in the law and order administration. There is National Police Commission, talks about the no political interference in the police. There are various investigation agencies like the Central Bureau of Investigation, National Investigation Agency, Central Vigilance Commission, then NIA, then paramilitary forces are there. There are state police agencies. They work in close collaborations. Whenever there is an issue of crisis management, whenever there is an issue of any disaster management, they have to work in close collaboration among themselves. Whenever there is a counter-insurgency operation and terrorism, they are carried out. We have to stop the criminalization of politics and administration. So police public relation is the need of the hour, and there is a need to reform the police. It has to be modernized. It has to be police stations has to be modernized. It has to become a citizens friendly police public police reforms. And there is a role of investigative agencies, role of central and state agencies. So there are various British legacies like IPC, Indian Penal Code, CRPC. They are in National Police Act in 1861. They have a British legacy in it, and they are still in existence at present. Many features are changed from the period of British administration, but some features are still present in Indian Penal Code and CRPC, as well as Indian Police Act 1861. So then there are various issues of administration. We have to inculcate values of transparency, honesty, dedication, and integrity values in public service. Then we have to regulatory commissions has to be proactive, like election commission has to conduct a free and fair election, like a national green tribunal has to ensure the environment less no control the pollution like water pollution, air pollution, noise pollution, as well as there is a National Human Rights Commission to prevent the custodial deaths in police station and to prevent the violation of the human rights at the hands of the police. And there is a problem of administration in the coalition regimes because they just coalition regimes has very complications in it, and there is a problems of administration. Then citizen administration interface, there is a mission Karamjogi as there. Then there is a Udhyam portal is there. Then there is a also e-governance is there. Then you have to public police reforms, police public relation administration, public relation enhancement. Then corruption and administration. We have to remove corruption from the administration. Disaster management. There is a national disaster state task force. सेंटर में एक डिजास्टर रिस्पॉन्स फोर्स है, डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट टीम है, स्टेट में भी है, यूनियन में भी है, to carry out unforeseen circumstances like floods, earthquakes, or any other natural calamities. So there are various boards, railway boards. There are various. We have to ensure public inculcate values of integrity, ethics. Then neutrality, activism in public servants. We have to National Human Rights Commission should work to prevent police brutalities on the civil population. We have to remove the interference of political from the police matters. We have to regulatory agencies has to work independently without any political interference. Then there is a coalition regimes should not be administration should not be influenced by the coalition regimes. So there is so these significant issues has to be addressed. We can bring about more and more evolution in administration, and it works for the governance, good governance initiative for the betterment of the citizens. गाइस चैनल को लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें और शेयर करें गाइस. Okay. Then we have study. We studied union administration. We studied state administration. We studied district administration. We studied accountability and control. We studied civil services. We studied personal management. We studied significant issues in administrative techniques, improvement in financial management. We studied like. Mm, Law and order administration. We studied rural development, urban local development, administrative reforms since independence, okay, civil services, financial management, plans and priorities, techniques, public policies, administrative law, administrative behavior, administrative thoughts, and we studied administrative theory. So these paper one constitutes administration from a general point of view, from the overall point of view, how it evolved from the political science, whereas the paper two constitutes specifically Indian administration. Paper one is more of a dynamic in nature, and paper one is more of static in nature, whereas paper two is more of dynamic in nature. We needs to inculcate the values of we need to know how to apply the concepts of paper one and paper two when it comes to applications. No, the public administration has overlapping with the public administration has overlapping with Indian polity and governance. It has overlapping with ethics paper and public administration has open. I think with the disaster management. It has okay. So it helps the administrator after selection during training period. Knowledge of administration is to be there in the administrator, so that can carry out administration in an excellent manner, in an efficient manner. So this was all about number two. इस चैनल को प्लीज लाइक करें, शेयर करें और सब्सक्राइब करें गाइस.